Now, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, good, good, good. Let me see. Go live. All right, we live on Instagram as well. How you doing today, Miss Teasha? Or this evening, I should say.
I'm fine. Trying to get. I want to get out today.
Oh, Rick. Well, it is Friday night. It is, and you in Richmond? Is that right? Or Houston?
Yep.
Okay, okay. So, do you go to Houston or do you stay in Richmond when you trying to turn up?
See if that's better. You say what?
Do you stay in Richmond or do you go to Houston when you trying to turn up?
No, I always go to Houston.
Okay, okay, okay. What's the move? What you hearing? What you hearing
You,
for the night?
you say what now?
What you hearing for the night? What's the move? What's going on in Houston?
I don't know. I was trying to see. I'm thinking about the living room or something. I don't know.
Oh, you like low key shit. You like the grown and sexy spots.
Yeah, because I'm older and all that noise. Well, it's not noise. I like to have fun too, but they're not dancing. Like that's what I'm used to that. Like where people used to, well, back in my day, they used to be at the club and they actually would dance. That's how men were a little bit more assertive than they are now.
Okay. Yeah, men were like Shannon Sharp back then, huh?
Huh?
Men were like more like Shannon Sharp. They were a little bit more aggressive. Is that what
Well,
you said?
nah, not no. They be more like, cause you used to be like a flower lady at the club.
Okay.
And dudes used to buy you flowers or they'll buy you drinks. Well, I know I used to get flowers, I used to get drinks and stuff like, and I say, shoot, that's how I first ended up coming to Houston anyway. Well, when I was like, I'm coming to Houston, that was my girls' weekend here. And I met some dude in the club, and I don't know how many songs we danced. By the time it was over with, he was like, "How you can move into my house?" I know I knew where he worked. It was like it was just we was down there married. I said, "I see that."
They
But
say they
they
don't
start off with
communicate
some,
like that no
"Hey,
more.
how you doing?" or "What's your name?" They
Yeah.
don't just be in there just looking like a crazy person.
So you saying nowadays you don't get the conversation, you don't get the background, you don't get to get to know each other. You just get the look. It's clear I kind of want to fuck you, so
Well,
I'm
no, I don't know if they want to fuck me or not because they just be looking at you. And then when they talk to me, and I'm like, no, like by that time, because I give myself, I have a one drink minimum, and if
okay.
I'm by that one drink, I finish that one drink. If I am not feeling it, I'ma leave. So, nine chances out of ten.
Well, you know, it's a spot next to the living room. It's before you get to the living room. It's like a little hole in the wall. It's like a little hole in the wall. You just gotta see it because it's to the right, but it's before you get to the Foot Locker.
Were you talking about that?
It's like
I know
seven
you're not
years
talking
up.
about.
It's a little hole in the wall across
It's
from that.
like right. It's I would say I want to say is it 56? Nah, what is it?
It's real
Some
small.
it's right off Emancipation.
Yeah, something like that. I think. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
saying it's sitting off to the corner. It's the last one on the corner. Got that big lot next to it. I forgot what that is called.
I gotta think of it. But if I find it, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna send it to you. I've been to
I
living
done been
room.
over there, and now those, and I hate to say it, now those men and white men, they gonna approach me.
Okay. What about
Yeah.
Hispanics? Hispanics don't approach you.
Who?
Hispanics like black women now.
Well, no, yeah, because I used to have a trucking company too.
Okay.
So I had this guy. Well, he said it was a difference. So he was a Honduran. He was from Honduras, and he was fixing on my truck and everything. Ooh, he, I liked him. I liked him, but I wasn't finna blur no lines. But he did make me an indecent proposal. Now I like that, but he just didn't work.
Oh, look, Miss Tina, look, I didn't even get a chance to. You are a comedian, right? How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy since 2011.
Oh, so about 13, 14 years.
For
What kind of
quite some time. Now, in all honesty, I have not been completely consistent because, like, I have things. Well, I've had things going on, and I had even though I have done some shows throughout the whole time, I've always done something. It's like whenever because I do deal with depression or whatever, and sometimes I can just get in a circle and I just be by myself. But initially, when I first started, it was really great. Like I was privileged enough to be a part of the comedy tour with Hope Flood, and I performed for some big people through her at the Comedy Rock convention. You know, I was able to meet a bunch of big names and do some good stuff. So I kept,
Yeah.
being very persistent with being fun, because I was like, Lord, I always loved Hope Flood from Comic View from back in the day, and
Right.
Miss Lunell, and it was like when they give you your little props, you just be like, okay, well, I'm doing my thing then. If they say it is good, it's good. I ain't even tripping off what nobody else got to say.
Right. No, I feel you on that. So you started about 11 years ago. When would you say, have you had that big break yet? Or do you feel like it's coming? Or
No, I feel like no, because I feel like at one point, I think it really is truly about how consistent you are in your actual thing. Because like initially when I first started doing comedy, I did it off of a whim, just
okay,
simply because somebody else was like, well, my aunt, my great aunt actually, she used to be like, you know what, you need to do comedy because you every time you tell a story, it's funny, and you be done did some crazy stuff, and I
right.
want to get mad at you, but the way you done told the story, you so serious. She say it's so funny. I think you missed your calling. I think you should have been a comedian.
Mm.
And I was like, what? And I ended up at the Rooster, and I met this guy, and
Not red,
he was.
not red rooster.
Yes, at the Rooster. I was supposed to, I've been in Houston for a long time,
Okay.
but when I was at the Rooster, I met this other guy, and he actually was a comic. It was funny. He was a comic, but he was like an old school comic. I can't even remember that dude's name,
Yeah.
but I was telling him about something. He was telling me he was a comic and this and that, and I was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I ain't never seen you on Comic View, but hey, I ain't seen everything, you know. And I went to tell him a story about something, and he was like, "Wait a minute, stop, stop, stop. You a comic?" He was like, "You got to do it. You got to try it." And I was like, "People scare me, staring at me, looking at me." He was like, "Man, you got to do it." And so I didn't even go to no open mics or nothing. It was a comedy competition for improv. So I was just like, you know what? If I can make that many people laugh, I say I'll try it. I'll give it a try. And so I went up there, and it was like they was a lot of people was there, and I was a little bit scared, and they laughed. Everybody was laughing. I had 5 minutes, and I thought that was a long time. But it's
Right.
really not that long of a time. And I got kind of cut off in the middle of the thing the way I was telling. So like they laughed, everyone laughed, and then I was like, well, okay, that's all I needed. Like
Right.
I doubt if I went, like all these people know how to do the time, like they knew how to stop and they wrap their little story. And when Ali Sadiq was actually the host, and he was like, where do you work out at? And I was
Ali,
like,
Ali Sadiq was
shit.
the host.
Yeah, he was the host. That was like back in the day. It was so like, and so he was like, where you work out at? I was like, shit, I be at Bally's, but I don't go all the time. And he was
Mm.
like, yeah. My homeboy Rich got a room, and I started working out at the Uptown Hooker, and that was it.
That was a wrap. And then 11 years later, still doing comedy. You say
Yeah,
you
I
have
pop
some.
in and I pop in because I was doing trucking at the time, and that is
Yeah.
very like me. I run my own business, and I have a couple of businesses, so I get busy. And well, if like I know, comedy don't really pay no bills, so it's like, especially when you first starting, it's like you the grub run because they'll be quick to bump you. Back in the day, like now, I see where everybody was saying no bumps, no bumps. Like
Right.
if that's true, that's great because back in the day, you'll be sitting up there in them rooms till I be sitting up there till midnight, and like everybody will be gone. You'll be telling jokes to the staff or to the chairs, and I'll be mad, but I'll still do it. And I'll be like, you know what? I got to get up in the morning, and I'll kind of pull back, and then I want to do it again because I like the way it felt, or I want to change it up. But and then every room was different. So and then I know there's a different type of room, like it depends on what you're trying to do. And
Right.
sometimes I guess I always started off on the roughest room because everyone said the hood room. So because I'm a little hood, I know those people. I know how to do it. So being able to fluctuate in between the two is good. So I think just being able to stay neutral kind of keeps you stagnant. So that's why I say, well, now that all my stuff has been handled, everything's been cleared up, I'm able to get back out more. So I'm getting back out more. And I think pretty much going out of town, because I always have good luck when I go out of town as far as work is concerned, because
Right.
I meet people. I mean, I met Michael Collier. I mean, I met so many people, and I was like, dang, hey, what's up? I see you on TV, like, Lord. And it's like it's crazy, but it's
Yeah.
like they always just say just keep working it, because everybody ain't gonna like your style, but you find a groove and you just stay in that groove. And that's pretty much true. Anything you stay consistent with, you're gonna be fine with.
Oh yeah, you got to stay consistent. You got to respect whatever you're doing. You got to
Right.
respect what you're doing. Whoever's doing it the best, they definitely worked hard to get there. I don't care what you say. They had to work. I don't care if you was given the platform. If you was given
Hmm.
a million followers, you still had to keep them, maintain them. You still had to grow that audience. So, man, that's good to hear that you've been doing it for so long. But you're gonna be joining us. You're gonna be competing and performing at the Last Lab Comedy Tournament on September 29th. Have you done a comedy tournament before?
I've won a few comedy contests, so typically, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the last few times I was in them. I won. So,
Okay.
um,
So
and
you've
I'm
done
just in
it.
all actuality, and it's crazy because it was a whole different community that accepted me in, and yeah, I won like $1,500 on one, and I won a grand on the other. So it was
Ooh.
pretty fun.
So you okay? So you this is something you already know. Have you done a tournament like an elimination round tournament, or how was it kind of with
There
this?
was, and it was like
Okay.
week after week. That was the part that was tiring, but it was kind of crazy because even though like you post your flyer, and that's the thing too, because you can post your flyer and you try to push it, but like it's I think sometimes like when you get out like in whatever area and kind of socialize with those people in those areas, that way they kind of know, hey, what's going on over there.
Right.
But it's like when you kind of mesh up your mesh up, because it was voters, it was by elimination, it had to vote, the audience had to vote, and a lot of times those people had people with them that, especially on that last round, they was like they friend was in it and they voted for me, and I was like, what? I was like, that's good right there. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But I get excited about that kind of stuff. To me, I do those. I only do competitions sometimes just for the fun of it. Really, in a
Yes.
way, it really doesn't matter. Like, but I know, like, I'd be like, yeah, I want that money. But like in this aspect, because I just want to get back out. And whenever you're trying to get back out and put your, let everybody know who you are, then of course you're just gonna be on everything. And plus, like I said, I really think it's gonna be fun anyway. So I'm not sure how y'all gonna set it up, what y'all gonna do, but I'm pretty sure y'all gonna make it interesting.
It's definitely gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun. I wanted to do something. I'm new to the comedy scene. I'll be honest with you. I'm like 6, 7 months in, but I did recognize doing just getting started. It was some things I didn't like, and I knew you had to do it because that's what everybody said. You have to do the open mics. You got to sit there, as you said, all night, right? You got to do the grunt work. You're not gonna get paid a lot of times, or you may get paid a few dollars here and there. But I wanted to do something where why not give comedians who want to practice, just like open mics are every night, they want to practice, but they want to get paid. They want to get some money. You know what I'm saying? Why not give them an opportunity to do that? So I feel like this will be that. Now, for you, you've been doing this for over a decade. You also said it's hard to, you haven't been able to stay consistent. You got a lot of things going on. Do you feel like being a full-time stand-up comedian is something you want to do, aspire to do? And what in the industry do you feel like what needs to change in the industry in your mind?
Well, in all honesty, a lot of people do the full time comedy thing. And
Okay.
here's my thing with that, because I run my own business. So in all honesty, I've gotten to a level into which I have become accustomed. And I see a lot of times, and I'm not knocking anybody, but I see a lot of times where people don't have, or they need, or they ain't got, or they this one living with that one. I don't want that. That ain't for me. That ain't in my portion. That ain't what the Lord wants for me. So, and with that being said, the only way I know there's a method to the madness, right?
Right.
So when it comes to comedy, yes, getting out and hitting mics is important. And that's just simply and only is to let people know who you are. That's
Okay.
at the end of the day, it lets people know who you are. You get those tapes and you use those tapes to do other stuff outside of the Houston circle, because sometimes it's like crabs in a bucket. Sometimes people can have a negative opinion about you. They may not even know anything about you. They don't know, nothing. But it's more like a bunch of gossipy women, and it's just, it can be hard because stuff can be clicked up. And people like myself, I do have a temper problem. I don't play like that, so I rather be safe and be okay with making my money. And I was like, hey, let me figure out a different way to do this so that I can make it work for me. And like, I know podcast stuff works. Like, I used to have a podcast back in the day, but it's like when you sit up there talking to yourself and people
Yeah,
just sitting there listening, and it's like, y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Why y'all ain't gonna say nothing? But I got invited out to do, that's back with Wicked Cricket. Like, I used to have my podcast, and these Ken, I think, and this other rapper guy from Third Water, whatever, they was listening. Well, Ken was, somebody told him about it, and they had been listening, and so he invited me, Wicked Cricket, to some type of thing they had over there. And I was like, okay. I was all in the fifth ward. But you ain't scared? I was like, no, I'm not scared. I'm excited. Like,
what?
I was like, this is the nickel. Like, I just feel like a real country girl. But it was not anything. It's like they embraced you as a person. So it's, to me, it's still the same thing. It's like you gotta find it. It's not, it may not fit for everybody the way stuff may move. But like, once you get your little tape, which I have learned is kind of just to stay to myself. Don't really do what I'm supposed to do. Do the mics, say hey and okay, and go on, get up out the way. And that way it just kind of keeps everything down. Like, if people they gonna form opinion regardless. You
Right.
can't stop that. But what you can do is kind of not even be, well, I wouldn't even, I don't know. Well, oh, I don't know. That is that what happened? I don't know. I just and be up out the way. It's like, cause now you gotta, really, I'm on that protect my peace type stuff. But I think when it comes to it, it's like it doesn't even matter because social media is more of the driver nowadays. So it's
Mm.
like the stuff that's going on, like whatever drama per se. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I get caught up on the TikTok, or I just be on there just to scroll to my, oh Lord, what happened?
I
Next
think
thing you,
what
and
happened.
I'm into something else, looking at it like that dang coconut shrimp situation. I
Right.
wish I would have never looked at that other video. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I said that took me out of there. I was sick for about 5 to 15 minutes. I said, Lord.
Lord have
But
mercy.
it's what people want to see is they like the Tasha K's. I mean, even though she owe that girl all that money, people like a little razzle dazzle. They like a little gossip, and so, and when I was doing my podcast, like, that's the kind of stuff I would talk about. Even though they wouldn't say nothing, it's like, but they would kind of tune in, and so it's like you just gotta. And really, at the end of the day, people like a little gossip. I mean, who don't? You probably be laid up with your girl, but like, you ain't heard what happened to
It's
to
people,
Tyreek over there.
and people love negative gossip too. They don't the
They
positivity don't spread as quick.
No, it does not, because I that's like the same thing with my insurance company. When I saw their rating, I never looked them up. I just paid my mortgage and let that be what it is, and see that there's somewhere people can't even say they do the full time. You don't say mortgage. But most of the time you sitting up looking for one thing. It's something. Ain't no way. I need my peace of mind. And
Nah,
that's, I mean, you want to say they want to have, like, they had, what was they rating, like a 1 point something, and all they had was a bunch of negative reviews. They don't pay out, I said, oh Lord. So I was worried. I was like, Lord, I've been paying these people all
yeah,
these 15 years. Where do I have it? But when we had that storm, it's like they didn't answer the call. But the check was already on the way. So it's like, that's the thing of it. It's, to me, it was like a metaphor within a metaphor. It was just like, you could be going through a storm or whatever it is you going through. You thinking the stuff you doing ain't working, and you don't even know. Like, on the backhand side, that stuff is already sealed, and it's coming to you just being impatient.
you just gotta keep going. That's what
Yep, and keep
tough.
putting your work out there.
Yeah, and don't be so quick to wait. So many people you won't, especially with the social media. That's why I give all those content. I give them a lot of respect because it's not easy to post stuff all the time, every day.
It's not.
It's not because you not every post is not gonna go viral. You're not gonna get likes on every post. So a lot of times, the people you find, those are just the popular posts. they not getting that many views. You're not seeing all the posts. You're not seeing all the posts that they get that they put out there that's not getting any views or anything like that. But they got to keep going. They got to believe in all the stuff they do and all the content creation, the goofy shit they do, the real whatever they audience is. They got to keep doing it until it pop. That's what I learned from the Drewskis and all the ones who's making it in that world. They just keep going. They've been doing it for years.
Yeah,
It was
because that's what they say a lot of times. They say, you know, how many videos they done had go viral before they actually even blew up. Like they went viral a few times, but people and it's like people memory is like this short. If it's something negative, but if it's something positive, if it's something negative, like what happened to that little guy that used to always come on the internet and he like, good morning. He always was smiling and he would be always happy. I can't remember, but I ain't seen him.
I, was he the golly, I think I know. Was he black, right? He was a black
Yeah,
dude.
tall and skinny with an afro, I believe.
I think he was. Yeah, I think he's still out there. To be honest with you,
What
but
happened?
I think he's still out there. But I think
But
he
I ain't been seeing them
control.
videos because at
Yeah,
one point you was seeing them all the time on the shade room and on this one and that one. It's like people be riding with you until somebody else is just as hotter or doing something absurd, you know. Because
yeah.
right now people scandalizing what's young that young rich homie Quan. Everybody want to know, oh, this girl done posted, this girl done posted, this girl done posted. But that's everybody do that. As soon as somebody die, y'all get the riding on these people. You wasn't riding with them when they was alive like
None of that.
this.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. Even the legends. I mean, this even the legends. Who just passed a couple days ago? Who was his name?
What, Frankie
Frankie
Beverly?
just passed. You know how people, but that sometimes that's the way people say that they showing their love by talking about the dead. But I
Some
feel
people,
like
I'm not gonna say no name, but when some stuff happened, like a certain situation happened, it was all over the news, everything. And that person, I had never heard this person talk about that person before. This time, this person all on the news, they all with the baby. I'm say, look at yonder. See, that's why when I die, all my pages get deactivated. You can't tag me. Don't even try me. My funeral is already paid for and it's private. It's a list involved. You cannot come if you ain't on the list. The white and I'm going to the white people. That way y'all ain't gonna find me. I'm with the white friend on.
oh Lord,
Anyway.
oh look, you mentioned you brought up depression, and I wasn't planning on talking about depression, but I think it's an interesting topic. When did you know you dealt with depression, and do you feel like more people deal with depression and don't even know about it?
Well, yeah, I do. I was diagnosed with bipolar when I was 19 years old. Well, a bipolar disorder and then a few other things. I was diagnosed at 19. And so with that came all these medicines. So that was not for me. So I think, well, because my staying for 3 days, I ended up like 2 weeks in the hospital the initial time. And it just, to me, it's more or less, I feel, instead of medication, people need more therapy. So, like, I don't know if it's, and I think people go through stuff. You have people that, you have loved ones or close friends and relatives and stuff that may pass on, or you may just be dealing with childhood trauma, stuff that maybe our parents used to say, just let that go, or keep, what goes on in this house stays in this house. Don't be telling nobody our business, which is so freaking crazy because I know all the time when I was in school when I was younger, I was in like anger management classes or whatever, and so my mom would be like, "Don't be telling white folks I got damn business." So
Mhm.
I'm sitting in the session just looking crazy, just looking. Well, what do you think? What do you think, Letitia? What do you? And I was like, whatever, okay.
Right.
Whatever you want me to say, because I'm not even supposed to tell you nothing. Because if I tell you, then my mama will say, "What? Them white people all in our business," and it's like it's not even about them being in our business. I feel like it's more some of our parents, like my parents, they were dealing with trauma, or maybe they didn't know and their family were dealing with trauma, and so they just passed it down. So whatever is for me that was normal in our house, like my mother and like typically, I guess I'm harsh on people. Sometimes I can just talk about people. My mama, that's how my mama talked about me, or my grandmother would talk about me. She was like, "Girl, get your mustache in there and go wash under between your mustard legs, your funky tail." And I was like, "Okay, wash that black off your neck." Like, so very harsh. So when I say it to somebody, but I know she didn't mean it to hurt my feelings. I didn't think meant it to hurt my feelings. I feel like she was just telling me to get my dirty self in the tub, or I was musty. She would most definitely tell me. And so when I say it to people, I don't feel like I'm saying it to be ugly to you, but
Right.
it hurts their feelings, and they tell me that I say it rude. So how many ways are you supposed to say you stink? Like, so my mother, which was more of a, and that's crazy because she was nice when it came to people. She could say that ain't what the Lord want. Say, really? Now when did you just start remembering what the Lord? But it's funny to me. But she was like, well, no, like if you meet someone, just like I posted about, was I wrong? If they breath smells bad, take a gum, you get them a gum. You take a gum, you give them a gum. That way they won't feel funny and they won't think you're talking about them. That way,
Okay.
everything fine.
So
I said, so mama,
that's
what do
what you
you do if
that's what
they don't want to take your gum? She say, just tell them, well, I think it would be nice if you try. Just try it. It's new. That's what she said. Just tell them, oh, this the new. Ooh, it's good. Put one in your mouth and tell, oh, it's good. I say, really?
that's so obvious. That's you
Then
need
so why don't take the mint? So
that's rude.
as I digress, I every time they want to put you on medication, and that's the one thing. I think they diagnose everybody with bipolar, but
Right.
I know, and like I normally I would tell a dude. As I told my ex husband when I first met him, he was like, "Hey," I say, "Boy, listen, I am crazy than the motherfucker. You want to probably just back up. I come with a warning label." And he was like, and because at the matter of fact, I wasn't in the mood. I was at the comedy spot, and they had just bumped me. I was pissed off. So I was like, look, I'm bipolar. He was like, I said, and what? He was like, would you like a drink? And I was like, oh,
Yeah, just calm you down. He was like, yeah, let me just calm you down a little bit.
just
So
calm you down. I was
when you
like,
first
okay.
it was at a young age, when you're first diagnosed with that, with depression or bipolar, sorry, do you feel like okay, this makes sense, or do you get angry? What's your first reaction?
It's just it's just to me, it's a label. That's it's just that's y'all done put a label on me at this point. So what are we gonna do to fix it?
Do you feel like there's anything to fix?
Oh yeah, like I'm no, well really, I'm not gonna say I'm crazy as hell. I am a little bit. I can be, but to me, I can control it. So to me, in all honesty, it's horrible when you tell if you say, "Oh, I have bipolar disorder," or I suffer with severe depression." Or or I have bad social anxiety. People are gonna tell me what I don't have. They're gonna say, you don't have social anxiety. How? And you're a comic. It's
Hmm.
like how do you have mayonnaise and bread? Like it's because you just do, baby. It's there. It's at the store. Because like when my mother passed away in '09, and I took care of her. She had cancer, so I took care of her, and she had it for like diagnosed for a very short time. When I brought her to Houston, she didn't have it for long, but I was at home with her. Like I was at home taking care of her for like a few months. Like what was it from like April? By June, she had passed away. And so, but during this time, my mind was just on taking care of her, being at home. Because I used to go out. I used to be in the after. I used to be in the streets. But when my mother got sick, it's like I closed myself out for everything. And
Right.
and she used to be telling me, like, you see this person ain't your friend, you see this and that. And my mom was so negative all the time. I used to love to prove her wrong or whatever. But it was like, whatever, girl. I stayed at home with her. And when she passed away, I didn't feel comfortable outside anymore. If I was going somewhere, I had a car accident because I got lost. Like I was supposed to turn, and in my mind it was foggy. I just
Right.
forgot. Like, and it was just what I just started saying at home I didn't feel safe. So then I was talking to my therapist and going to my therapy, and the medication that doesn't help you because because me I'm a lightweight. I can take a Tylenol. I'm going to bed. Take a
Right.
Benadryl. I'm out for 2 days. But the medication just gives you a blanket. To me, that's all it is. It's somebody, you're not fixing the issue because you done gave me a pill. The pill don't fix the problem. In
Right.
your mind, there's still something wrong. What's the steps in order for us to get this right? How do we handle that portion? So like at this point, it's like you have to find the right person to work with you, because a lot of some therapists is like, don't worry about your past, let's focus on this. But it's like, well, what about this part, and then what about this part? This is what's making me feel like this, so how do I fix this part?
Right.
Well, now it's like they'll give you another assignment, and it's like, no, because this is how. And to me, I sit back and look. I used to want to be a psychologist, but I sit back and look at the things I've done, and I'm like, oh, you was wrong. Ooh, I wouldn't mess with you either. Like, ooh, that wasn't right there.
Right.
Nope, you lost him right there, girl. You should have pulled back. Something you told you no. So it was like,
You
yeah,
honest with
but
yourself. You honest
it's
with, yeah.
yeah,
You can
you
look
have to be,
forward.
to me, you have to be okay with not being okay, but being okay with what happened. Like you have to accept your wrongs. You can't, everybody else is not at fault. Like everybody else is not at fault. You do have error. Like me, I know I have error. This stuff be wrong, and I can know like my temper is going there, and so I kind of like,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
woo.
And you don't have to be. You don't have to necessarily be diagnosed with anything to be able to look in the mirror and just admit there's some things in me I need to change. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it is. I mean, that you don't. You have to be honest with yourself. Now, my diagnosis came up because I was doing some other stuff, but it's just it's what do you do? Like, what do you do other than that? It's like nothing. But when you tell people, oh, well, I have this or the first thing they want, oh, because you're crazy, and yeah, and I'm like, do you really honestly feel like that's how you want to talk to me?
Right.
Because the other side of me is like, really? That's not what we do with us. Like that ain't it. Wrong answer. Like don't do that to me. And don't do it to me in public. But it's like you go ahead and tell everybody, because what they gonna do with, I mean, well, first of all, they gonna, oh, you know she crazy, don't you? You know she got
Mm-hmm.
but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, don't know she's crazy. Just anybody can be crazy. Just because you ain't been, somebody ain't flagged you in the system, don't mean that you ain't a little bit off. Because how do we know you not one press on nail broke off away from just airing out everybody? All right, baby, listen. I know I control my crazy. I'm not going to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
That is
That's. I
not.
mean, look, we all got a little crazy in us, so it's
Everybody do.
everybody got it. You got to control
But
it.
you don't always say who knows what pushes your buttons to push you there. So it's like you can't. Child, calm that down.
You
And to
got.
me, that's all hot and sweaty. I'm not getting sweaty. I know, I still got to finish my makeup. That I'm not messing up my makeup to do all of that. Now, no.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Look, you say you have a few businesses. Tell us about them. I want to make sure that you get your businesses, shout out where they can find you, what's your website and everything before we get up out of here.
Well, I do sell honey packs. Yes. My horny honey, I do sell that stuff on my, and I sell Gator Bite for women to tighten you up, as well as penis oil for men. And a few other things. If you go to my Etsy store, it's available there for that good sauce. Yeah. And then I have a logistics business. I've been in logistics for over 21 years now. So I handle freight brokering and I teach classes and all that kind of stuff.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, look, Miss Teasha, well, first, also, do you have any shows before September 29th that you want to talk about or
Oh,
anything?
what they deposit is not paid, so we're not gonna talk
We're
about them.
not gonna talk about it. All right, we ain't gonna. Nah, that's what's up, though. Look, I appreciate you joining me for this short time tonight. Go turn up. I know it's Friday night. It's still
Turn up.
early now. It's still early now. Be safe out there. All right, I appreciate you joining me.
All right, you have a good night.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.